Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're getting into a story that is just wild. It involves a pro wrestler, a medical recovery that shouldn't be possible, and the guy who's arguably the biggest name in UFO research, Dr. Stephen Greer. So let's just jump right in. Okay, so everything kicks off with this quote from Tyrus. You might know him, he's a pro wrestler, a personality on Fox News. And he was in a really bad place. We're talking a career-ending back injury, constant, serious pain, surgery was on the table. And then, one night, he has what he can only describe as a dream. But this wasn't just any dream. It was so real, so strange, that it left him with this crazy choice. Either he's losing his mind or something from another world literally fixed his back.
And the change was, it's just night and day. Look at this. Before that night, Tyrus is basically crippled by sciatic pain, all hunched over. His strength is shot. He's struggling to lift 220 pounds. Doctors are talking about cutting him open. Then the very next morning, he says he walked into the gym standing so straight he actually hit his head on the door frame. The pain? Gone. The swelling? Vanished. And get this, within a month, he's not just back to normal, he set new personal records. His trainer, who's all about the numbers, had absolutely no way to explain it. It just didn't make sense.
But there is one person out there who thinks he does have an explanation. And that's where Dr. Stephen Greer comes into the picture. He's heard stories like this before. And he believes that what Tyrus experienced wasn't just a dream. It's a reality that a lot more people have touched than we think.
And this is what makes Dr. Greer such a fascinating and, controversial figure. You've got these two completely different worlds he lives in. On one hand, you have Dr. Greer, the super respected, science-first ER trauma doctor. This guy was the chairman of emergency medicine at a hospital, totally grounded in physical reality. But then, on the other hand, you have Dr. Greer, the founder of the Disclosure Project. This is the guy who's briefed a CIA director about UFOs. He made a very conscious choice to walk away from a mainstream medical career and dive headfirst into the most talked about, most secretive subject on the planet. For him, this wasn't a late-in-life thing. His journey started way back. When he was just 8 years old, he saw a UFO in broad daylight. Then at 17, he has a near-death experience that he says showed him the universe itself is conscious. And just a year after that, he claims he had his first actual direct contact with an ET. So these incredibly deep personal events, they basically set the stage for his entire life's work, which he kicked off for real in 1990. Okay, so this is probably the most important part of his whole argument. According to Greer, the massive secret about UFOs, it's not being kept by the president, the CIA director. Nope, not him either. Greer claims there's a secret group running the whole show, completely off the books.
And he's not subtle about it. He calls it, and this is a direct quote, a transnational criminal group that broke away from the official chain of command way back during the Eisenhower administration. So this isn't your standard government conspiracy. He's alleging there's a rogue power structure that doesn't answer to anyone, not even the White House. And how does he back this up? Well, he says he's built up a massive intelligence archive from over 750 whistleblowers. And we're not talking random people. We're talking military folks, corporate insiders, and government officials who have supposedly worked deep inside these secret projects.
And this is where the story gets really, really crazy. Greer says that when Bill Clinton's own CIA director, a guy named James Woolsey, started asking questions about UFOs, he was basically told, you don't have the need to know. He was shut down. But the most insane story is about Admiral Tom Wilson, who is the head of intelligence for the entire Joint Chiefs of Staff. According to the story, when Admiral Wilson tried to get access to one of these hidden projects, he wasn't just denied. He was cornered, physically threatened, and told to back off or he'd lose his stars, his entire career. So that just begs the question, right? What on earth could be so important, so secret, that you would threaten one of the highest-ranking military officials in the entire country to keep it under wraps?
Well, according to Greer, it's actually not about the aliens themselves. It's about their technology. We're talking about things like reverse-engineered craft, zero-point energy systems, and propulsion that controls gravity itself. Now think about that. These aren't just cool gadgets. This is technology that would make oil, gas, coal, all of it, instantly obsolete. It would completely flip the global economy and all the power structures that go with it on its head. And here is maybe the most mind-bending claim of all. Greer says that roughly 80% of the UFOs that our military pilots are seeing, like that famous Tic Tac video, are not from another planet. He says they're ours, man-made, reverse-engineered craft flying out of secret bases that even Top Gun pilots like David Fravor have no clue exist.
Just let this quote really sink in for a second. His claim is that humanity mastered gravity control by 1954, that we haven't needed fossil fuels since before he was even born. The implication is staggering. The entire energy crisis for the last 70-plus years has been a lie, manufactured by this shadow group to hold on to power.
So, if you can't go through the government, if presidents and generals are locked out, then what do you do? Well, Greer's solution is pretty radical. He says we have to bypass all the official gatekeepers completely. He's pushing for a worldwide, grassroots movement of citizen-led contact.
And he's got a name for it. Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, or C5 for short. Now, this is different from the other kinds of encounters you've heard about. It's not about just seeing something, and it's definitely not about being taken. A C5 is when we, humans, proactively and peacefully reach out to them.
And he's actually developed a whole protocol for how to do this. It starts with quieting your mind, getting into a deep meditative state. The second step is something he calls coherent thought sequencing, which is basically projecting pure, peaceful thoughts and intentions out into the cosmos. And the final step is to vector them in. Essentially, you use your own consciousness like a GPS beacon, sending a signal of your exact location through space. The idea is that these beings don't navigate with radio waves, they navigate with consciousness.
So, look, at the end of the day, whether you think Tyrus had a strange dream or something truly otherworldly happened to him, Dr. Greer's work really pushes us to ask a totally different question. Maybe the question isn't, are we alone anymore? Maybe the proof has been here the whole time, just hidden away. And if that's true, the real question is, are we ready for what happens when that curtain is finally pulled back?